Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and if you give a mouse a cookie, am I right? Speaking of which, speaking of children's books, I'm not releasing one. Boy, but that would be funny, wouldn't it? But do me a favor and hit that like button or your birth control will be rendered ineffective, and this week we're carrying the perfect knife for the infant in your life. The Olitans G048, also known as the Mini Airship. But if you want to look it up on Amazon, G048. So let's take a look at what we're holding, because it'll bother you if I don't. And you know I love you. So first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. It is not reversible. We've got a flipper tab. Let's flick the bean. Yeah, real tiny bean flick. Oh, I wish I hadn't put it like that. But we have got 1.93 inches of D2 steel, and these things are 20 bucks on Amazon. I think I caught this one on sale for around 12 bucks, which is why I grabbed it. But I figured this thing is comically tiny. This thing is comically tiny, so I figured I had to have it, I had to carry it, and I had to look at it for you guys. Like, look at this. And gone. Like, I won't do that with the blade open. But, you know, this thing is comically tiny. The D2, of course, also sold me on it. I'm a big fan of D2. However, it hasn't treated me well lately. So, you know, this might be a shot at redemption for it. And, of course, you guys know. You guys want to see Cardboard Slayer on this thing. Y'all really, really do. I already know. You guys have been asking about Cardboard Slayer on really tiny knives. So here we have a really tiny knife to do Cardboard Slayer with a little bit further on down the road. You know, I am interested in seeing how Cardboard Slayer does. I've got a feeling it's not going to be that bad. You know, we've got a flat grind on this thing. We have got fairly thin blade stock. It is going to be a slicer. And the pocket clip, the dingus end of the pocket clip is raised up really nicely. That thing is heap strong. This is a good 8 out of 10 on the pull. So not unhappy with that. And my guess is this thing is going to carry really, really well. It's not going to be noticeable in the pocket. It's going to be probably pretty easy to get stuff out of the pocket around it. Like, this thing seems like it's going to be heaps good. It seems like it's going to be heaps good outside of, you know, I'm used to blades that are more like this length, where the blade is like, so the usual blade is not, you know, almost the entire length of this, but you can see, like, you compare these blades to each other. Like, I'm used to stuff like this, and where that shows up every time is when I'm trying to push through cardboard or something like that. I'll go to push, and my muscle memory is set to about 3 to 3.5 inches, so the tip of it wanders out of the cut, and I got to start the cut again. That's where the problem with tiny, tiny blades show up. And of course, doing the plastic wrap on the pallet's the same thing. I go to cut, and I'm used to dragging the cut through 3.5 inches, and the tip just pops out, and the cut stops. So that's going to be interesting to learn how to accommodate for that for the week. But I think other than that, I'm not going to see any major problems. Now, sharpening this thing, I got a feeling I'm going to beat the G10 up right here come time to sharpen it. I always do. We're going to try to avoid that when we sharpen it. We really are. But let's go ahead. I'm going to wipe the edge off here to make sure there's nothing on there. But let's take a look at where the edge is sitting right now from the factory. Little bit of drag on that. Little bit of drag on it. So I'm going to guess between 200 to 250, somewhere in that window. Let's go ahead and get the edge sharpness tester out that you guys kindly provided through your super chats, your channel memberships, what have you. Always grateful for the support. Thank you so much for that. And let's get a fresh test clip out. All right, so we're going to take one sample. We're going to take one good sample. As long as the number looks legit, we're going to go with it. All right, here we go. A 193. So I was really close. That 193, that lines up with what I saw on the cut on the paper. I'm going to write this down. So when we come back after some cardboard cuts, some plastic, a week of use, we can see how the edge is still holding up. But, you know, I mean, the 193 is not terrible. It's not too far out of line with a lot of factory edges we've seen lately. So, yeah, I'm okay with it. I am quite cool with it. And it's interesting. If you have something where you can quantify like the sharpness tester, if you can quantify the edge sharpness quality somehow, you can start learning how to read your numbers on the paper cut and seeing what it's probably going to pop on the tester. You know, there's a lot of times when I was doing that a ton, I stayed really close to the number that showed up, and I mean, I was pretty close on that. You know, that 7-point difference, you know, the 200 on the low end that I called, that 7-point difference is not really big. You know, you're measuring the number of grams of force it takes to cut through the wire on that calibrated test clip, and if I move back and forth a little bit, you know, you'd see slightly different numbers, especially because this thing's got a distal taper on it. You know, that same edge on thinner blade stock probably would pop a noticeably lower number, but yeah, like I'm interested in this thing. And it's been sitting there waiting. I've been delaying the gratification on this for a while. There's so many other things I wanted to carry and take a look at, but it's time. It's time we do this. So this is a real quick look at it. Like I said, if you got any infants in your life that you want to have a pocket knife, that need a pocket knife for their day-to-day use, this is probably one of the best ways you could go about it. Definitely keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. You might not have an infant that needs a knife right now, but if you ever do, yeah, so I can't think of much else to say about this thing before we carry it and come back with the review on this thing. So all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We got regular videos. We got live streams. There's plenty of activities. Comments. I love some feedback. I want to hear what you think about this. I really do. But, of course, we're going to plug some products from friends of the channel. They're not affiliate links. I don't make any money on them. I'm just supporting some friends. And I do have the Amazon shop link. You don't have to use it, but it's the easiest way I found to show you a list of some of the cool stuff I found recently. So here you go. And as always, we are going to link up to Cutting Lacey EDC's Diamond Emulsion if you want to step your stropping game up, make it easier to sharpen your blades, and keep them sharp. Wonderful product. I use it myself on every single knife I sharpen now. And we are going to link up to Mad Yocco's wax. If you want to protect your blades that are prone to corrosion, if you want to darken up the color of your micarta, or take care of a million other things, he is going to be on Blade Binge with his wax. Alright, just supporting some friends of the channel and some small businesses. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.